I couldn't stop the man from running into the nursery. After learning what happened, I told my husband I wanted to move out. I was 8 months pregnant when my husband and I moved into our new home. We both wanted to find a new place sooner, but complications kept getting in the way, and my difficult pregnancy was costing more than we had planned on. We ended up settling on a cheaper home, but I was excited nonetheless. My husband reminded me of my doctor's instructions to not stay on my feet for too long before leaving the house for work. I was working on the nursery, hanging up baby clothes, when I heard a knock at the door. Something in the back of my mind told me not to answer, but I told myself it was probably a new neighbor who wanted to say hi, so I waddled over to the door. On the way, I can feel that I have limited time to talk. One of the side effects I've been struggling with is weak legs. If I stand for too long, my legs give out from under me, and I'm stuck either sitting or lying down anywhere from a few minutes to up to an hour. But I tell myself that I should still say hi, and then excuse myself once I get to a point where I can't stand anymore. I open the door and find a man wearing a nice suit and holding a small duffel bag. He smiles at me and says that he is there as a sales rep for a carbon monoxide and fire alarm company. He asks if he can come inside for a free inspection and would leave a recommendation for anything the house may need. I politely told him that we had a home inspection done before buying and that everything was in working order. But as I go to close the door, the man's expression changes. He looks irritated and asks me if I'm willing to put my baby in danger. His question stuns me, and I immediately tell him how crazy inappropriate it is to ask someone that. The salesman stepped forward and asked if he could speak to my husband about it. I'm not about to let him know that I was home alone, so I lied and said that my husband was busy unpacking and would only tell him the same thing. I tried to close the door, but the salesman stuck his foot forward and stopped it. He raises his hands up, asking me to please listen to his offer, and starts to rant about how his boss is about to fire him, blah blah blah. I suddenly stop hearing him as I feel the horrible tingling sensation in my legs, telling me that I was out of time. Just then, the neighbor on the right side came outside with a bag of trash in his hand. As he was about to put it in the trash bin, he happened to look up and froze. This neighbor then locked eyes with me and pointed at the salesman. "Go inside. He's wanted by the po." The salesman pushed me to the side and my back slammed against the wall. I slid down the wall while holding my stomach. I've overexerted myself by this point and my legs feel like mush. I won't be able to get up by myself for a while, and so I watch from the floor helplessly as this strange man sprints directly to the room meant to be my baby's nursery. I can hear the neighbor yelling at someone to call the police, and seconds later, he comes through the front door. He squats next to me, asking if I'm okay, but I immediately push him away and frantically tell him where the strange man went. The neighbor then runs down the hallway and disappears into the nursery as well. I'm still stuck on the floor and unable to get up. My heart is pounding as I'm listening to the two men yelling and soon fighting just out of sight. I then hear a gunshot. I slap my hands over my mouth in horror and watch as the salesman steps out of the room, weapon still in hand. My whole body is shaking as he walks over to me. He looks down at me but says nothing. He then walks out the front door as if nothing happened. I hear sirens in the distance before I pass out. I wake up in the hospital to my husband holding my hand. He first assures me that our baby is just fine, but when I ask about the neighbor, he goes quiet. The neighbor did not make it out of the house alive. My husband then told me that the cops caught the salesman. It turns out that our home used to belong to his grandmother, and he was a serial robber who had hidden almost $100,000 worth of cash behind a vent in the nursery. My husband and I have been living at my parents' house since. Every time I walk into that house, I start shaking, so I've asked my husband if we could sell it and move. He said yes.